Okay, so dear Dhamma friends, we're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. So be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. Gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. So while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So bring your attention to your body. Observe head to toes and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And later observe the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within any sensation arise in you. So in the beginning, we're going to relax our body step by step. And bring your attention to your body and observe head to toes and see your physical posture and feel your weight. Detach your body from the cushion or the seat. Just feel, just get a mental image, only your body. You no need to change anything or you no need to correct anything. Just learn to see without any attachment or without any authority or kind of like this is my body. Like, don't think like that. Just get a mental image. Following my words, mentally relax your body, relax your head, relax your forehead, relax your eyebrows, relax your eyes, relax your ears, relax your nose, relax your upper lip, relax your lower lip, relax your chin, relax your whole face muscles. Relax your teeth, relax your tongue, relax your mouth, relax your throat, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Relax your whole back muscles and relax your spine. Relax your chest and relax your abdominal muscles. Relax your lungs, relax your heart, relax your liver, relax your kidneys, relax your gallbladder, relax your pancreas, relax your small intestine, relax your large intestine, relax your all abdominal organs, relax your buttock, relax your thigh, relax your knee, relax your calf muscles, relax your foot and relax your toes. Relax your whole body muscles, tendons, ligaments, bone marrows, and whole skeleton. Release the tension in your mind and keep relax your face muscles, Slowly place your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and deeply and gently breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. Now slowly allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Not by visualizing, not by imagining, not by creating, make anything happen. Just simply allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Just keep follow the sensation. Simply follow. This is rising, this is falling. Consciously be available only for inhalation, exhalation. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation, knowingly. This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end of the inhalation, exhalation. Also experience the depth and the length of the inhalation, exhalation. Some inhalation exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it. Keep your attention only to the sensation or the feelings and see how it changes moment by moment. How that feelings or the sensation or the thoughts itself arise without any effort, without any intention in you. Look how itself it arise and itself it disappear. Learn to see that process. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. to all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, through these ongoing meditation sessions during this time period, we try to give you kind of like a holistic understanding and to build up a very clear foundation regarding especially the Vipassana meditation. Because when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, it's mainly to get into depth. You have to know this teachings of Vipassana. And even though there are more other teachings and the sutras and the academical level of any different kind of explanation regarding the Buddha's teaching, when it comes to your life, this is depend on practice. There is nothing else. This is not depend on theory or believing or hopes or any kind of other third party initiation. This all depend on practice, because when you practice yourself, you're going to understand this. So when it comes to practice also, you have to remember, so the teaching is important, and at the same time, intention, the reason you come to practice, also important. So this both should come to the right place. So that's why always remember the intention. When you come to the reasons, you always look for the truth. You're going to get into the bottom. You don't trying to find a way to manipulate that whatever the experience the way you want. That is where you need the awareness, because the mind is very tricky. Mind play magic, not this outside world. Our own mind play magic. You all have seen it. You all have experienced it. So sometimes we caught up in that magic within our own ideas, thoughts, desires, feelings. And then later, when the show end, then we have to deal with results. And then then the struggle come to life. So, but when you have the awareness, recognition, so whenever whatever come to your mind, thoughts, once you're able to see very clearly, in that very moment, you get out of the struggle, the scene. take you out of the risk. If you don't see, remember, it's always go with the struggle. And we mostly use the word the ignorance. And when it comes to the opposite side of the ignorance, negation of the ignorance, mostly we use the wisdom. But if you go to the depth of the wisdom, how somebody become wise, and when somebody is doing that unnecessary thing, very easily you can recognize, you can say, this is ignorance. But how you can tell someone to, because you can tell many things, do this way, do that way, don't do this, don't do that, you can tell that. But that itself, the person not going to understand it. So the very reason the ignorance happen, not because of lack of wisdom, lack of awareness. Because the awareness is the reason. And when you develop the awareness, what will happen as a result? Whatever the mistake that person keep doing going to disappear. And the right result comes. That right result you can say, and you can name as wisdom. So otherwise, people without awareness, people cannot become wise. That is where mostly people get misunderstand and learning. And look, where more than any other time we have universities, we have more educated people, and the technology and the informations and everything around us. But still, we are not capable to become wise. The reason sometimes we think gathering information, collecting information, and then repeating it in a certain way. And we think it is the path to wisdom. That is not the path to wisdom. The path to wisdom is awareness, recognition. When there is lack of recognition, as a result of that, all the unnecessary things come to us. Not because of the information, not because of lack of the knowledge. When we look the human history, generations to generations, the knowledge become new. But then how in the ancient time people used to do a lot of things. And it's kind of like when you have very, very clear understanding, like look at in the ancient time, carpenters, they didn't have, this Home Depot tool box. They didn't have that. They had little tools, but they able to do a lot of work out of that. And they didn't use kind of like a different tools. When you want to that cut wood, they never use a hammer, because that it to recognize what the right tool, not the knowledge, it's the awareness. When you caught up in the knowledge, you lose your awareness deeply, and you depend on that knowledge. Then what will happen? Little by little, in the moment, it feel comfortable. It feel comfortable. But the knowledge already is there, that somebody that initiate or somebody validate it. It should be like this or like that way, and it is there. And once you become settled down with that, you are a new person. And you have more capacity than the knowledge that whatever you hold. So then what happens when you become more comfortable with the knowledge, whatever you have, your awareness you lose. So then remember always, the very key point here that you have to develop through this meditation. That's why we're trying to fund necessary energy, necessary information, necessary that the practice to develop your awareness. So it is come out of the practice. There's no any other way. So then develop your inner behavior to keep the awareness. Don't depend on the condition outside. Don't depend on the tools. Don't depend on the others' opinion, or don't depend on the weather. So always look that how you can do it. So when it comes to the body also same, because recognizing this change within yourself is a very, very tricky method. You can do it, but the thing is it like this. So, and mostly when you look that before the Buddha, and mostly that other people used to have the idea of the karma. No, even in the world today, still people this keep carrying the word karma, and it become more popular than any other time now. So when it comes to the karma, karma is a result. And your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this everything for the moment, in this very moment, your life is a kind of like the karma, that whatever that you did in your past, that's why you experience this life today. So this is the result. The most of the people in before the Buddha, what they did, even still they do that. They struggling with the result to get out of the karma. They mostly struggle with the result. So that's why sometimes people hurt themselves. And sometimes people blame themselves. And when somebody doing something, and that doer, the person itself is the result of whatever the karma, then rather than seeing the reason, cause, then you go with the effect, and you go with the person, and you try to punish to the person. But you never saw why this person became like this. So in the Buddha's teaching, through this vipassana, it takes a deeper level of landscape, to see the landscape when something happens. Not to go with it is a very, very careful technique. You can do it, because if you cannot do, then this teaching invalid. You can do this. Rather than only thing you have to know this. Rather than go with the result, you start to look for the reason. So if you go with the result, it's like you look outside. When you go to look the reason, you go inside. So the vipassana is a method that we call inside meditation. It's kind of like you go into the reasons, not the result. You don't look into result, because the result helpless. Look, you are when it comes to the karma, that this very moment that exists, that it is helpless. Why? Because it is the result of the karma. how this became like this. When a person gets angry, mad, disappointed, ill, so painful, so this everything is result. But if you try to deal with it, it doesn't work. Then again and again and again, you have to deal with that. But if you start to look for the reason, and when you're able to go into the reason, you start to see something else. So then within yourself, learn to observe the reasons. So then, listen this very carefully and be with me. So when you observe a sensation, don't caught up with the sensation, because the sensation helpless. Sensation is a result. That is the sensation is a result. So if you look for the sensation, you missing the result. That is where, when you deeply observe, you have to recognize. And when you look for that reason, that is where you're going to recognize the roots. From where this come? Don't look what came. As example, and sometimes you can tell my knee pain, my back have a pain. So it is a result. But if you don't categorize it, put a name on it, and you don't go with the face value, you start to look deeply. To look deeply, the very first thing that you have to do, you have to detach from the whatever you experience. Because if you try to go into the experience, you already passed the point. Why? Because there's nothing kind of like a present moment. It's in conventionally we say that there's nothing moment that you can settle down. It's a process that we call as a present moment. In that very moment when you go into the result, you already missed the reason. And when you go in, when you start to look into the reason, you don't validate any kind of result. And that is where the mind, in the very first level, that is where the mind detach from this all the reaction patterns, because we have a habit to react to this entire eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind feelings. So then when it comes to the Dhamma, the Nibbana is within us. And the Nibbana is within us. And that's why in the very fundamental level of explanation in Abhidharma it tells, Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. So under the thoughts, the mind, and all the formations, and the Nibbana. This Nibbana is a result of your mind. And it is there. So only thing is, because you are busy and you dealing with the thoughts and the mind and the all formations, and because of that, you have no access to the deeper level of this Nibbana. So then, when it comes to the meditation, you slowly observe, and without going to result, you start to go into from where this come, from where this come. In that very moment, what is happening, even with your thoughts, you don't go with the thoughts, you start to go into the beginning of the thoughts. When you go into the beginning of thought, that is where you end the thoughts. So that is where you ending the thoughts. If you go with the thoughts, there is no end. How far it will go, no one can tell. But if you go into the reasons, and you go, because in that very moment, when you turn into the look for the reason, that is the end of your thought. That's it. So with the mind, the same. These all things coming in mind. The mind is a bigger subject, but just for the practice point of view, to understand ourselves. This all the dreaming state, this all the ideas that we carry, all everything in our head. We try to deal with desires, everything. That everything, if you look very carefully, everything you projecting to from here to forward. So then, if you go into this inside rather than going forward, that is the end of your this projecting mind. Because you cannot project to your past and thinking to do something. There are thoughts already that as a memory, but it is not kind of like there is no current. Why? Because when you think about I want to do something yesterday, that itself it's not going to happen. But how about I want to do this tomorrow? What will happen to you? You can get into a kind of like a deep sleep meditation, even 24 hours, more than 24 hours, you in dream. See? So when you go into the beginning point, that is the end. But when we go with the result, there is no end. And so like that way, when the thoughts and when the mind end, what happening? Naturally, all these formations, all the formations become little by little, little by little, little by little neutral. So this all the mind, thoughts, formations happen. And there are two reasons. One reason is avidya. So the avidya means ignorance. Another one is desire or the tanha, craving. I want this. I want to become this. I want to do this. The chandaraga, with the deeper self-centered satisfaction. I want to eat this. I want to see this. I want to get this. So like that. So then two reasons. Avidya, tanha. When the avidya, tanha, it develops deeply to move forward with your thoughts, mind, formations. This whole action called karma. Avidya, ignorance, and the tanha, desire. This is underneath. And because of that, you have the mind, thoughts, formations. And when the avidya, tanha become powerful, and what happening? Your thoughts, mind, and the formations become stronger. Why? Because it depending from avidya and tanha. Ignorance and the desire. And that whole process called karma. So then the result comes. If you go with the result, you never finding the creator. It's going to be there, playing the game. And you keep beating, you keep beating, you keep beating. Even you suicide, again you come, again you suicide, again you come, again you kill yourself. So that is the most, you know, the the powerful thing that you can take against your karma. So people do that. But what will again and again, and then itself it become a struggle. There is no end. So then remember, you have the mind, thoughts, and the formations. And then another thing, the nibbana, these all four things in mind. So this all that the thoughts and the mind and formations happen because of the avidya, that's mean ignorance. Another one is the desire. So avidya and ignorance, the desire underneath play the game. It's kind of like have a relationship. That the desire depend on avidya. Because without avidya, you cannot have a desire. You know, it's as example, just to practice point of view, get a very little example, like for children. And when they say, I want this, I want this, so like that, and they're asking for something. And you cannot sometimes educate them and telling the reasons you cannot get it. So the desire going to be because they don't know the reason. Until they know the reason, the desire going to be. So then when they get young, little by little, you know, when they get educated, and then when they understand something clearly, and themselves, they're not going to ask about it. They themselves, that desire, they slowly drop it. Even later, if you ask, do you want that? Remember, you used to cry that time asking, do you want it now? No, 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 I don't want it. So why that person don't want it? Because now that person knows something. Didn't know that time. So not knowing is the reason to have the desire. So that's mean when the avidya is there, the desire going to be, that's the reason. So when the desire is there, your thoughts going to be powerful, your mind going to be powerful, your formations and going to be powerful. And what the Buddha's teachings tells us, don't go with the thoughts. Don't try to go with the mind. Don't try to go with the formations. And don't try to, the whole process is karma. Don't try to go with the karma. It's nothing to do with that. And don't try to hold the desire. It's nothing to do with that. Get into the ignorance. That is the reason. Get into the ignorance. How you can get into the ignorance? What we does, we try to get the information and to know things. No, develop the awareness. When you develop the awareness, when there is awareness, the ignorance going to disappear. So when the ignorance, when you have the awareness, ignorance disappear. When the ignorance disappear, desire cannot be there. Desire cannot be there. So when the desire cannot be there, thought not going to be there. See, when you have very craving thoughts, when you want something, when the desire go away, what happening to that, all the thoughts? You say, forget about it. I forget it. I let go it. I don't think it anymore. See, the thoughts go, the mind go, all the formations disappear. And all the projecting disappear, go away. That means you get out of the karma. So then it like this. Okay, remember. So this is the nibbana. This is the underneath your mind, and then this is the karma. Karma means chitta, chaitasika, rupa, and the chitta, thoughts, mind, chaitasika, rupa, chaitasika, thoughts, chitta, mind, chaitasika, thoughts, rupa, all the formations and all this recognition, that everything. And then underneath, avidya, and here we put the desire, and then we put the avidya and on the bottom. So now you recognize this whole karma. This process called karma. So now you recognize. You go to the avidya and you recognize this. You develop the awareness, not the information based with the wisdom based with the information. That is the different. When it comes to Buddha's teaching, not the wisdom knowledge depend from informations. We talk about the awareness. So when you develop the awareness, what will happen? You drop your avidya. So when you drop the avidya, the desire cannot be. So the desire going to disappear. When the desire disappear, your thoughts going to disappear. When the thought disappear, your mind going to from here formation forms, all the forms going to disappear, and then the thoughts going to disappear, and then your mind going to disappear. Okay, it's like this. So this is the nibbana. It covered by this karma, this whole process. What is avidya, tanha, that means desire, and this one is the formations and the thoughts and mind. This all covered. This your nibbana. And then what you try to do now, that this is karma. So then you bring the awareness, practicing through vipassana. You bring the awareness to this process. The first, you go to the bottom. The reason avidya happening because of lack of awareness. So then the vidya means you develop the awareness, and then you slowly get out of the ignorance. When the ignorance disappear, your desire going to disappear. When the desire disappear, your all formations disappear. When the all formations disappear, thoughts disappear. When the thought disappear, your mind disappear. And then what will happen? Your nibbana going to be there. So that is what the Buddha talk about. So then this is to get into the bottom of the avidya, the developing awareness is what? It's not you can think about something. It is not you learning something. Of course, in the surface level, you address to the pace value of your mind. That is not awareness. Just remember, telling to a child, learn something, learn this, do that, do this, child will do that. But how about if you train that, the giving opportunity that child, teaching that child to develop the awareness, observing. Maybe what you see and telling child to do this way is you You allow that child to drop the awareness, and child becomes so comfortable, and then and that child do that whatever the way you tell. And another example I will tell you. And sometimes when another person in lack of awareness, that means that person cannot see what to do. So sometimes you cooking, and then maybe your husband or your children come and try to help you, and then you tell, oh, can you cut these onions? And that person in lack of awareness, and that person tell me how to cut. And then what you do, you take an onion and you start to sew, and do this way, do that way, do this way, do this way. And then that person start to do that way, do that way, do that way. And then later, and you see, oh, he did very well, and then you can tell, oh, you done it very well. Huh? But you know what happened? When that person cutting the onion, he hold it to fear. You didn't see that. He didn't see that. Because he exactly get into the form and trying to, in case something went, you know, wrong. Maybe if you are not there, Samya, maybe that person, take it and throw it away and don't show it. And show everything only exactly the way that you want. Why? Because it hold it to deeply fear. This is the very, very tiny secret, the magic that our mind play in anything. But the awareness is not like that. Awareness bring the fullness to you. And when you are with the pull of awareness, you out of the fear. That is where you bring the creativity. And that is where when you have the creativity, you develop the strength to go with any situation, go with anything. Whatever the outcome, you not depend from the outcome. That is the power of awareness. That is what you have to develop. Not because we try to be nice, we try to be good, we try to be perfect for others. That not, it's nothing wrong with anything. That's where we born. That's the land we born. Hold it to that boundaries. We have to respect that. But our purpose is not, having and living here and making everybody comfortable and becoming comfortable and dying. You see, what's the point? Then you're going to born again. So our purpose is more deeply, without disturbing to that. We respect to that. Without disturbing to that, we deeply go into the reason. Look into the reason. And you go there and you work with that. So remember, the bottom of this all come out of the ignorance, avidya. And when because of the avidya, the tanha or the craving arise. And tanha jayati soko. When the tanha arise, when the desire arise, all the misery, everything come with that. And then, and with that, all the karmic patterns, thoughts, mind, and the recognition, everything that arise. So then learn to go into the bottom and work from there. And once you start from there, other things cannot. So otherwise, don't struggle with the outside result. So that is the essence of the practice. That when you go into the depth, you cannot be busy, you cannot be loud, you cannot take a lot of things. It's like that. You have to be very minimized and you have to be very limited, and so, and you have to be very slow, and you have to be very sharp, very clear. Those are the things when you go into insight you have to develop. This all come out of the practice. So that is why the authentic teachings of the Buddhas in this, when it comes to this vipassana level of practice, remember this all, through the books or through the listening like this way, or through chanting, praying. There's nothing wrong with this. This is everything we need. But finally, end of this all, it depends on your practice. How you put this everything together going to change this all. So then remember, every day make very clear within yourself, and don't address to result. Learn to, it doesn't matter how hard it is, how difficult it is, learn to look for reasons, and you will find it. The finding the reason is the solution for the result. When you find the reason in that very moment, the result anymore cannot exist there. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mati bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.